So, hi guys, as you can see, myself, Mike and Kev have all sat down with a gaming table in front of us. Now, we've just finished our Journeyman League, and the one thing I've noticed through the entire thing is that some people don't know what to do whenever they're playing Warmachine Vs Hordes, because it is two separate systems. So, what we're hoping to do with this is basically show people how the two commingle and work together, because the two games can be played in sync. So, Kev, who are you running with?
I am running with my Khador back to my original faction. Okay. Just purely because something like this, Mercs might be a bit too complicated.
Yeah, well, whenever you have all your different stuff, you know, all the contracts and things that really confuse people, then you have the Ruliks, the Pirates, the Legions.
So I've gone back to the Khador to try and go through this, but you are right, and I'd say 90% of the rules between Hordes and Warmachine are exactly the same, but the difference between the focus mechanic and the fury mechanic, everyone goes through it. That sort of, I've learnt the game, I've learnt my half of the game, and I know where I am.
That fourth wall.
Yeah, and it can take some time to get used to it, to understand, and try and just, once you understand it, how to work either with it or against it. Yeah. Same with the other way. I mean, you suddenly go a Warcaster that's camping 3-4 focus, so their armour's so high that your normal attacks can't hurt it. Can make a difference.
Well, Butcher, for example, you can be on what, armour 22, 23 with his focus?
Yeah.
And really struggle to hurt, where the Horde side of things, you're more relying on your defence to keep you alive.
Well, you see, you rely on your defence and your transfers, so you'll be looking at it going, okay, that guy has 3 transfers on him. Afraid not. That's just +3 armour, so you're doing 3 less damage every time, instead of going, by the way, my beast takes it. You know, and it is something that a lot of people forget, because I actually played a Legion player during it, and what he kept doing, he kept maxing out his beasts on Fury, and then whenever I was hitting his caster, he was just going, okay, I'm going to transfer. Sorry mate, you can't, because you've maxed out your beast. Yeah. You know, it's little things like that that people just can't seem to remember sometimes. So I think it really will be worthwhile, guys, to actually see a gameplay between the two. So you've got your Khador. Mike, I know you've got your Legion.
I've got my Legion, which I haven't used for a while because of the Journeyman I was using Circle. Yeah. But I'm taking my babies.
Yeah, you're taking your babies, and I'm willing to bet you're running your Princess.
Oh yeah, my Rhyas is there.
Since he's already putting the excuse in that he hasn't played his Legion for a couple of weeks, I haven't played my Khador in about 2 years.
I played your Khador a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and how ropey was I?
Extremely, but that's not the point.
So,
well, hang on, guys, we are not going for a tournament game here. This is fun. Now, I know Max broke out the Legion, so I'm not sure how much fun you're going to have whenever he starts going, oh, by the way, I ignored half that bloody rulebook.
All I'm going to say is Kev was playing Legion in the Journeyman. Okay. He's learnt a few of their tricks.
All right, well, that will help. That, I will admit, will help. Yeah. So, okay, let's get down to brass tacks. What's in the lists? So, you've both seen each other's armies now, but we're also going to talk a little bit of tactics. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send one of you away. We'll take a quick break, and then me and one of you will have a chat. Then we'll take another break, me and the other will have a chat, we'll come back for the end of it, where you'll both say, right, let's roll off, let's see who's going first, and then we'll come back in another video for the actual game, guys. So this is going to be a 3-video series. So the first one is this, the setup, how we've built the armies, you know, how we're expecting them to play. Second video, we're going to have the actual game itself, so that'll be Mike and Kev on their own, just running through it. And the last one is we're going to dissect what happened in the battle, and actually see how you would change it, how things actually did work out for you, and if your tactics played through the way you want it to.
Stop him rolling dice?
Well, so 3 6s on 2, I think, is what you said before.
His dice are wrong.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, guys, we'll take a quick break here. I'll send one of these two away. I'm not sure which yet, so I'll flip a coin. And we'll see you again in a wee minute. So, we're back, and I've decided to run with Kev first. So, Kev, what have you put into this Khador army?
Right, primarily, I set myself a slight set of rules based on trying to use the stuff that I recommended in the Battle Box and Beyond. Right. Kind of, no point me saying, I recommend this, this, and this.
Yeah, actually say, take it, and then not be able to back it up by playing a game with it.
Exactly.
It's very clever. So, who are we starting with? I think I see the Butcher.
Since it's Mike, and we both know what Mike's like with your little Riri. Yeah. I thought it'd be fun to go with the Khador equivalent of the Butcher.
Yeah, a good idea.
if nothing else, if it all goes to plan, it could look quite cinematic with them both going head on.
Yeah, so this could end up just being a caster duel with the armies just bunching together.
Spectating.
But, yeah. Right, so, well, who else do you have there? Because I'm seeing a couple of big units and a couple of jacks.
Well, first things first, I've taken the War Dog.
Okay, now that one you did talk about in BattleBox and Beyond.
Yeah, so...
Oh, excuse me.
So to add a little bit of protection for the Butcher as he's getting close and personal. Yeah. Because as much as, I reckon Butcher can take Re.
You want him on the charge?
Yeah, I'll try and make the advantage as much as I can.
Oh, yeah.
And for his jacks, some Khador players may raise an eyebrow here. At 35 points, I've actually got 2 jacks. Okay. I've got the Juggernaut from the original BattleBox. Simple, cheap and cheerful beat stick. Yeah, if it gets hold of either Re or even one of the Angeli, I could make a bit of a mess. Yeah. And also Kodiak.
No, they're the ones with the heavy boiler, if I remember right.
Heavy boiler and the Pathfinder. So helps keep, makes it easy to run for the early turns, and a bit of wrestling with some of the bits it can do. So it's a bit of fun. Yeah, well, I mean, I know with Mike taking the 2 Angeli, you can't really do headbutts or anything to knock them down. No. But with those 2 open fists, you could just be flinging them about all over the place. Exactly. So this isn't tailored for anti-Legion. No, this is you going, I want a fun game. Exactly. So, so there's that. Then I've gone the Winter Guard. Oh, you've went Death Star Winter Guard? Not complete Death Star, but it's most of the way there. Okay, so... max units... with the officer and standard, Joe, and only 1 rocket. So you could have had 2 more, but I'm assuming you didn't have points? Yeah, that's correct. Still, even having that 1 rocket, if it's just that off chance where these are on their last couple of points of health, they can just go, aha! Yeah. Again, just because I know it's Mike here, Mike goes quite troop heavy for a Legion player. Yeah. So having the Winter Guard is always nice. And then, as another big unit, I've got the Iron Fang Pikemen. Right. These I didn't speak about in the BattleBox and Beyond, purely because we spoke about the Men of War Shock Troopers, because they come in the 2-player set. Yep. These are very similar. They're single wound stuff. Yeah, they've got their shield wall though, which will make them nice high armor. Yeah. Depending on Mike's dice. Yeah. But single wound, but more of them. Yeah. So it's the balancing out, and you'll probably get more attacks off them with there being more of them. If they survive, because they're at single wound, anything that gets through, they will drop. Yeah, yeah. And then the final little bit, I've got a unit of Widowmakers. Yeah, no, I do like them. They're always very, very useful. So across the board here, I've got the Widowmakers that give me a little bit of long-range shooting. Yeah. I've got my mid-range here with the... Yeah, you've got your mid-range and then you've got your sprays. And I've got my combat with my pikemen. Yeah. And then I assume the Butcher is just going to be going, aha, rolling in! He can be a little bit more subtle than that. Well, I mean, before we started this, you told me a little bit about one of the stories for the Butcher, about him going into a local bar before he became a warcaster with his axe. Yeah, in the novelette, he's not quite all there, and he started mad when he was there having a few drinks, and he turned around and he thought someone had nicked his axe. Right. But it's okay. He's talking to his long lost love, and Lola. There's a little band playing. She invites him to dance, so he's stomping around dancing with his love. Yeah. A few people start laughing and ridiculing him. He gets a bit angry. So as and weapons get drawn, because he can't see his axe, he's having to fight bare knuckles. But he's protecting his love as he's trying to back up towards the door. Yeah. As the smoke clears, everyone's on the floor bar him. Yeah. He turns around and finds his axe has been placed right by the door, but Lola's missing. So possibly he could have been dancing with his axe in that bar. Well, you see, I kind of have the image of him going off on one with the axe, going head, arm, groin to the knee. Almost poetic there. Almost. Well, I'm Irish. Anyway, right, so that's your list. What are you hoping tactics-wise for it? I'm hoping here to basically try and favourably win the peace exchange here. Okay. He's got 2 heavies, I've got 2 heavies.
Yep.
He's got 2 relatively small melee units and the shredders.
Yep.
I've got my Widowmakers and my Winter Guard to try and soften them up, and then hopefully I've still got my Iron Fangs left to deal with what's left. So if I can favourably get that peace exchange and work it through, then when I can get Butcher to Rhyas, if she hasn't got much in the way of transfer targets, anything that Butcher does to her is going to hurt.
It's going to stick.
Yeah.
But even then, with the damage I've seen the Butcher put out before, if she's being forced to transfer that off, other stuff is just going to be dropping all over the place.
Exactly. So that's my plan in my head.
Right, well, guys, we'll take another quick break. So that's Kev's Khador army. I'll be posting the list below in the post description. Sorry, my head's a little fuzzy this morning. And right, so we'll move on. We'll get Mike in, and we'll have a quick chat about his legion. So, guys, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, Mike, we've put Kev out of the room. Now you and me can have a little chat about your Legion.
Yeah,
much as it pains me to say I'm having to talk about Legion. Right, so you've started with Rhyas. Now, I know what you do with her. She is going for an assassination run, guaranteed.
I'm going to try to win this on scenario.
Are you?
I'm going to try.
All right, well here, I'll tell you what. You win it on scenario, and I'll have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Don't worry, it's not that. Anyway, what have you got in your list?
Obviously, I've got my Rhyas Legion. I've got a Shepherd to help me manage my 5 war beasts.
Yep, because it's 2 heavies, 3 lessers.
Yep, which are 2 Angeli, I have 3 shredders. I also have 2 minimum units of swordsmen.
Right.
One with the UA attachment.
Right.
They're Weapon Master, they're Mat 7, they're 14. They're going to get into fights, they're going to hurt things. Yeah,
they're really going to hurt the Iron Fangs that I see sitting here.
They're going to hurt whatever they get into combat with.
Right.
Because they're Weapon Masters on the charge, 4 dice damage at power 11.
Ooh.
I would even risk it against the Jacks.
Maybe the Kodiak, but I don't think I would hit the Juggernaut with it. Because the Kodiak's the equivalent of a Khadorian Light Jack.
The armour, what, 18, 19?
Something like that.
So that's only
minus,
it's minus 8 to my dice on 4 dice.
I've got the cards right here. What am I doing? Let's see. Kodiak, armour. Oh, it's actually armour 20.
Okay, so it's minus 9 on 4 dice.
Yeah.
I'm still going to do a few points of damage.
Yeah, and if you have enough of them into it.
Yep.
You know, the one thing you'll have to be careful of is its vent steam.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because that's a power 12 hit against those guys.
Oh, they're dead if they attack power 12.
Exactly.
But if it's the last few points I need to do, it's that. I've also got the Black Frost Shard.
Oh, I've played them. They're really, really annoying.
They're Weapon Master Mages.
Yeah. And how much stealth do you have sitting about there?
I have a spell with Rhyas, what can give a unit / model stealth.
Right.
I have the Black Frost Shard, what can give himself stealth.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Alright, so you have 2 bits of stealth.
I have 2 bits of stealth.
I see Kev having nothing really to deal with that.
The sprays ignore stealth. So he's got something to ignore it. And he hasn't got much in the way of shooting.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, he's got the big unit of them, you know, with their spray. And then he's got Joe and the officer.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're getting all their extra abilities. Now, Kev was saying that he had done this to coincide with Battle Box and Beyond.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we haven't done one for Hordes yet.
No, I know. I had a free reign.
Exactly. So Mike had free reign, and he gets to play all the surprises. So
I've not played all the surprises. I've gone for my Rhyas tier list.
Alright.
So I've really limited on what I can use.
Yeah.
And I do get some nice benefits.
Yeah, I remember one time I asked Mike not to play Rhyas tier. You know what he done?
One shredder disappears.
One shredder disappears. That was it. I was livid, shall we say.
Yeah, the tier list allows the Angelii to be reduced by 1 point at tier 4. So that is the equivalent of 1 shredder.
Yeah.
The tier 3, where you must take the Black Frost Shard, every unit in my army have Pathfinder for the first turn.
That's quite handy because I'm seeing a few bits of forest here.
Yep. Tier 2 is must have the 2 units of swordsman. They gain +1 speed for the first turn.
It's not bad.
So speed 6 basics and now speed 7.
Yeah.
And tier 1 is +1 to dice roll who goes first.
Yeah.
And the unit attachment for the swordsman become you.
Right, well, guys, as you can see, we've actually set up a scenario here.
Yep.
So we have one objective and one zone objective.
One flag, one zone.
Right, so what's the difference between the two, just really quickly?
The difference between the two is a flag. It's obviously flag. The only way we can control the flag is by dominating it.
Right.
Which is your caster must be in base contact with it to dominate.
Got it.
And you only get 1 point for that.
Right.
In the zone, if your caster is the only model in it, you get 2 points.
Right.
If something else is the only model in it, you get 1 point.
Got it.
The way I've got this list, I'll say we'll try one on scenario. It's mainly because war beasts in Legion, war beasts in general, have an animus.
Right.
And these two have a lovely animus.
Right.
Which your caster don't use as a spell as well. It's called repulsion. Every model within 2 inches is pushed 3 inches directly away.
Right, well you can't push them all the way out the zone, but you can get them well back.
You can push them, it depends how close they are to the edge of the zone.
True, and if they're surrounding you or not.
I can repulsed, move, repulsed again.
Really?
Yep.
What's the fury cost on it?
Cost 2, they're fury 4.
Okay, so you're going to see a little bit of movement shenanigans in this.
I'm going to try to move him out the zones to score my points.
Yeah, and I'm guessing you're using your Frost Shard to slow stuff down from getting in there.
Slow stuff down. They're weapon masters as well. They've got magic attacks. They can make things stationary.
Yeah.
One of their spells, the Kiss of Lilith, is +2 damage rolls.
That's actually
and
quite
useful. If I combine
useful.
the +2 damage roll with the armor piercing from the Angelii, I'm getting +6 on one of his heavies to my damage roll.
Yeah, that'll really, really hurt them.
Well, 3 dice +6. So I'm taking out a column before I've rolled dice.
Yeah, yeah. And you're picking where it goes?
No.
No?
But it's +6 to damage. The most you can get in a column is 6.
Aha, I see.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so we could see a lot of mangled metal sitting about here.
I hope so. The one thing I am worried about is the War Dog.
Yeah, I know you don't like the War Dog.
It's the additional defence it gives to Butcher.
Yeah, and that counter charge. And I'll quickly flip it under the close camera here so you can get a quick look at him. Kev's actually modelled that really nicely.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, because he's got a little wire in here which just has the War Dog up in the middle of the air as if it's running about, which is quite cool. Right, so you're wanting the War Dog dead.
The way I'm going to do that is these two have a ranged attack at range 12.
Right.
Power 12, critical fire.
Yeah, and the counter charge only kicks in at 6, I think.
Counter charge only kicks in at 6.
Yeah.
But also, if I'm shooting it, it's not getting close to me. So Butcher should be that little bit away when I kill the dog. So Butcher's going to be going in unaided.
Well, man, let's have a quick look at what the Butcher's speed is, just for my own curiosity of the thing. Whee! Stuff going everywhere. Butcher, where are you? And last card, wouldn't you know it? Well, he's only speed 5.
The slowest thing in my army is speed 6.
Yeah, so even if you are shooting the War Dog from 12 away, is what I'm thinking, he won't be able to countercharge you to get you back for it.
+3 for charging, +2 for reach.
Yeah.
All it gives him is 10.
Yeah.
So
long as you're canny with your movement, you won't be too bad.
If I lose an Angelii to Butcher, I'll be fine as long as I'm in a place with Rhyas I can counter.
Yeah, so you're hoping he'll come in with the Butcher, hit an Angelii, and then you'll be able to go, by the way, Rhyas is here. Whee!
She also ignores intervening models when she charges. So I will be doing a lot of movement shenanigans. I will be moving over the top of models to get to things.
Yeah.
And Butcher's on a medium base, is he not?
Yes, he is.
So I will be able to charge him for any...
Yeah, any of his smaller infantry models.
Or my own. So I will be charging her over shredders and all sorts.
Okay, guys, this is going to be an interesting game.
Yes.
So, we'll take our last break, we'll bring Kev back, and we'll see about getting the game on. So, back in a second. Okay, so we've got both players back. We're ready to kick off. Have you guys ruled off for who's going first?
Yeah, I even with the Theme Force bonus, I managed to beat Mike, so I've elected to go first. Mike gets to choose table side.
Okay.
I'm pretty comfortable sitting here, so I'm staying where I am.
Alright, that's fair enough. Well, I suppose it's the lazy thing of gamers. Whenever you've set your models out on a side of the table, you're pretty much guaranteed to stick there. You're not going to carry every last little mini over to the other side.
Yeah. we did agree off camera here. Woods, these are just normal walls, so inch high, give the cover, but you need, obviously, to charge over, you need Pathfinder, all the rest of it. And that piece is a
rough terrain.
Rough terrain. So imagine that was like the fourth wall of that keep. That's just
that's just crumbled.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, the actual layout of this, you could just be fighting in an old Orgoth ruin.
Yeah.
You know, so perhaps the Legion think there's an Anthak nearby, and perhaps Khador are just going, no, this is our territory, get out.
Yeah, or a bit of Leal, anything like that.
Yeah, a bit of Leal could be done as well.
Could be the Legion leaving the mountains for any reason and get ambushed.
Could be down near the Northern Thornwood.
Castle of the Keys.
Could be the Castle of the Keys.
What's this?
Oh, you've got to get your fluff right. That was where the Legion force managed to kill the Dragon Pyromalthank and get the second Athank for Thagros.
You say the Legion force. She killed it.
Alright, so that's where we are. We'll say that's where we are, guys, if you want a little bit of story behind it.
Yep.
So, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this first video of the series. Hopefully you've got a bit of a feel for what the armies are doing. Now, if you want to drop comments below and chat to the guys about what they've put into their list, now we're going to do all three in the one day here, so there will be no changing and chopping between it. But when this goes out, put your comments below, talk to the guys, see what they're doing with their lists, you know, actually start to get a feel for it, and actually start to get a feel for what it's like playing between the two. So guys, without further ado, we'll move on here, and we'll get on to the next video.